Yeah, mine worked. Cool. Try yours and see if it works. Yep, yours is working.
What do you want?
Share it.
I didn't get you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just testing your mic to see if it was working.
Everybody's microphones, make sure they're on. And just one isn't working right. So.
This one's not working.
Oh, it's not? Is yours working?
Press at the top.
Did you guys?
It's in red.
Bottom?
There.
There you go. Okay.
You can take mine if you need to.
It's pretty loud, so
Yeah, me too.
it'll pick me up for sure.
Thank you.
I shake, so.
Okay, welcome. Today is what is today? Today is March 19th, 2025. It is now 6:30. The Board of Directors of Williamson Travis County Municipal Utility District Number 1. We are ready to start our meeting, and let's do roll call first. Carol?
Carol Norrell.
Hanoi Vila.
Beth Jones?
Chris Rocco. David Florence.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to stand for the pledge of allegiance.
I invite you to stand with us if you desire. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to ask for a moment of silence. I also would like everybody to take an extra 30 seconds for our officer that passed away this past week, for Monroe Stinson, please. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Please remember that we need to have all cell phones off the table, please. They need to be turned off and put away. David? Okay. First, we have Linda Fabric.
That's Linda Fobb, Beth. I guess after 5 years, you're going to get it, right?
I
In
would
March,
say-
Beth Jones claimed the board had received many deed violation complaints, yet the meeting minutes do not reflect any board discussions on these alleged complaints. To verify Jones's claim, I submitted an open records request for all director emails regarding deed violations since November 24th. The result, exactly 0 complaints, not one. Jones lied, and then she lies again. Now let's talk about the request for a proposal for deed enforcement, clearly written to rehire Sage Management, and appears to funnel money to Jimmy and Diane Sagnas while restricting communication and decision-making to Rocco and Jones, both notoriously dishonest. This effectively removes the full board from oversight and allows a committee of 2 to control deed enforcement behind closed doors and expend district funds without board approval. This setup will drive up the cost of transparency with a flood of public information requests. Despite the RFP's language assigning Sage the responsibility for redacting personal information, Texas open records law do not permit redactions of names and addresses in deed enforcement matters. There is no exception of privacy for that information under the law. The Education team is prepared to defend our neighbors from Sage's aggressive tactics. To that end, Education.org will launch a dedicated page on deed enforcement, publishing every public record and equipping residents with the knowledge and support needed to protect their property rights. This month's invoices reveal more troubling issues. Chris Rocco submitted a fraudulent fees of office claim for $666 total by duplicating dates and claiming an infrastructure committee meeting in January with Beth Jones, who isn't even on that committee. According to the engineer's report, there was no infrastructure committee meeting in January. Rocco has always been dishonest, and he continues to be so now. For a self-proclaimed auditor, his record keeping is deplorable. Beth Jones also claimed a parks meeting with Hanoi on February 6th, while Hanoi claimed it happened on February 7th. This matters because Hanoi also submitted a fees of office claim for another meeting on the 6th, and directors can only be paid for one per diem per day. Meanwhile, Carol Norrell charged for mileage from her home in the district to the district clubhouse. That's not allowed. Reimbursement for mileage within the district is prohibited. What's more concerning is that Rocco and Norrell serve as the committee responsible for reviewing bills and invoices, yet they are engaged in the very behavior they're supposed to prevent. This isn't just poor oversight, it's duplicitous. Is that correct? Yes?
Ms. Flores, resident.
Last month, you rejected David from this meeting because you didn't want to hear the truth. The cost of operating the district has increased by nearly 53% over the past 7 years. That's an additional $818,491 per year, just to keep the lights on. Beth, Chris, Carol, and Hanoi don't want to hear the truth because it interferes with their self-serving projects and the steady flow of money into their friends' pockets. I can't help but wonder who's getting the kickbacks this time. Beth's decision last month to bring back attendance at the CASE conference is laughable coming from her. In 2021, Beth and Catherine Franke pretended to attend a CASE conference in South Padre Island, but neither of them were even registered. The district didn't have an active membership with CASE, and confirmation from both the CASE conference chair and the district bookkeeper proves they weren't registered to attend, and no payments were made to CASE for their attendance. Yet Beth's receipts show her flying into South Padre 2 days before the conference started and flying out the day the conference began. Somehow, she was still reimbursed over $3,000 for a conference she didn't and couldn't attend. But we're all accustomed to Beth using public funds to pad her income, just like she did in 2020 when she took over $50,000 from the district to cover her personal legal defense. Chris Rocco's CASE conference receipts tell the same story, arriving in South Padre 2 days early and renting a beachside condo. He's admitted, it's the only way I can take my family on vacation, on the taxpayer's dime, of course. But Chris and Catherine took it a step further. Both claimed a fees of office payment for every day they were on the beach, including the drive to and from South Padre. Education.org has the receipts and the evidence of what I believe to be fraudulent activity. The facts speak for themselves, the corruption runs deep, and it's time to hold them accountable.
Question for the speaker. So, may I ask some questions?
No.
No? Okay.
You should.
May I ask a question? Questions?
Point of order, Madam President.
Go ahead.
Well, they don't want to answer my questions, which is, that's okay. I don't have anything else to say.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make a move. We have a guest here tonight, and so we're gonna move up old business for the hatch lift station. And we'll do that next, and then we can go on to number 4 after that. But if we could go on to old business, and I believe, David, that was your item?
Yeah. You said we had a guest, so is that what, so does he have to speak, or?
Let's see what you got. And if he's got things that he can answer, then he will.
I believe it's the person that's here from engineering. I think.
From engineering?
No.
No, Gerald.
Okay.
Just like, he can introduce himself.
No, really all I had was a motion to make for the hatch lift station. I move that we pursue, motion to pursue litigation in order to recover the $1 million fiscal loss to the district as a result of Infomark's recorded negligence in the maintenance and repair of hatch lift station, which resulted in the catastrophic failure March 9, 2023. That's my motion. Can you get a second?
I have a question for you, if I can get a second. I'm completely opposed to that, so somebody, if I can ask some questions about this motion?
Can you second it and you can vote no and we can discuss it? Because that's a proper procedure.
Sure, I'll second the motion.
Okay.
Are you part of modification website?
No.
Okay. And is this motion that you're bringing, was it written by you or by Ms. Fabry sitting here?
It was mine.
It was written by you? Okay. That's all I have.
Okay, I'd like to speak.
You did speak.
No, I made the motion. Now we have a conversation,
Yeah.
right? We have a second.
You can have 2 minutes.
Cole, am I on a time limit to speak as a director?
Unless you all have adopted some sort of internal policy, no, you're not. I mean, I think,
Can we adopt something at the limits?
That's fine, I think I make a motion.
well, again, let me clarify this. I mean, you all as a MUD can adopt, any type of resolution or policy, but the laws that govern you all are, it's the Water Code and 551 of the Open Governments Code. So there's nothing in those codes that state, that a board can limit a director's time to speak or anything like that. So if you all adopted a resolution to do that, it would be on you all to basically bring the hammer down when someone violates that resolution. I know there are a lot of resolutions, we think we've talked about this at the last meeting, there are a lot of resolutions on the district's website. Some are adhered to, some are not. And so, you all, it's a business decision on what you all want to do, but there's nothing in the law that restricts, David. I think the only thing that's, something to consider is if someone's going to go on for an hour, you're wasting district funds because of all the consultants and people who are sitting here billing, but otherwise.
Of course, I would never try to intentionally waste taxpayers' dollars with consultants here. It's not my agenda, it's not my point. What I'd like to do is have a discussion with everybody, have an open dialogue, and come to an agreement or resolution or a happy medium is what I'm looking for, an open dialogue. So that's, setting the time limit, so just a little much, but I understand, we're trying to restrict free speech and opinions.
If I may interject, I would like for David to have the opportunity to speak. David, I assume you've come tonight prepared, so it probably shouldn't take you very long anyway. So, but that's just my offering.
I appreciate that. Pretty much, I think that we need to. It's a big loss and a big hit to the district. Can anybody deny that it isn't? It's a big hit. It's $1 million. I think it's our responsibility to make sure that we can go collect that money, and I think it's up to a judge to find out who's at fault, if Infomark is at fault. We had a lawyer draft up a letter stating that we should recoup this money, and I don't think we would have sent that letter if we didn't have a case, if we didn't have a leg to stand on. Of course, Infomark's going to say we're not guilty. We didn't. It's not our fault. Which anybody would claim the same. They're not going to admit to it, but I think it's up to a court to decide if they were negligent in taking care of that lift station. I think that it's, we go after residents and lawsuits for deed violations. We go, trying to go after a resident for their freedom of speech, but yet we're not going to hold contractors accountable for $1 million loss to this district. I think it's just, that's how I feel about it. So that's just my 2 cents, and that's it.
I'm gonna correct you, because insurance paid a lot of that, and insurance would not have paid this if this was something that they even thought was faulty. If they thought it was faulty, they had logs, they had texts, it all had to go to insurance. Insurance would not have paid a penny if there was something fishy about this. What?
Or even a question.
You're right. And so, if this keeps being brought up, I know you've had help with this. This is not coming from just you.
Residents are concerned
No,
about it.
you have one person that's very,
Residents are concerned.
bring them to the meeting.
Have them call.
Bring 'em.
I'd love to talk to them.
And so, Herb even tried for several years to get us to fix this hatch lift station. And you know what? This board
Voted to
to,
do
no,
it. Yes, they
to
did.
not do it.
That's a correction. If you look at the board packet in the folder, the meeting minutes of, oh God, it's in there. Cole, did you put those meeting minutes in there for?
Well, what I'm saying is when
Which one?
Herb brought it up and tried to do this.
There was an
he
old set
was
from
denied.
January in there.
Yeah, that
And-
one.
Yeah, they were unsigned. They're
So
on
in
there.
the,
Yeah.
in the drive, there's an old meeting minutes from January, and in there, I looked at it today, and it actually said that all of us said yes to going and fixing that lift station in January. It failed in March. So
We're going back 2 years,
yes,
David.
I understand that.
2 years.
And
And we
The
said
meeting
no.
minutes, the meeting minutes are in there that we
Okay.
approved it. No, you.
You can bring
wrote it
that
on
up,
there as
but
well.
what I'm saying to all of y'all is we are wasting your time. We have brought this up, we have said no, we have brought this up, we have said no. I'm gonna say it again, insurance would not have paid this
Okay.
if they thought that this was something that was wrong.
Seems
We
like-
did not pay $1 million because insurance paid most of it.
Seems like to me, David, that minutes you're addressing had a cap, a minimal amount of money to be spent. It wasn't the astronomical numbers that wound up being spent. There was that's how I remember reading it, but I could be wrong, David, so.
Yeah, it's just in
You have
the,
something to say? Hold on, we got 2 other people that wanna talk. You had your 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, or whatever.
I have looked for documentation showing that it was Infomark's fault, that they did something wrong, and that the insurance payment went a long ways for me, knowing how they are, if they can ever find even a small percentage of the chance that it was somebody else's responsibility. And I didn't see anything in the payments by the insurance company that they placed any blame on anybody. They must have thought it was an act of God or some other thing, but they sure didn't blame it on Infomark.
You have logs and text to prove that.
the engineer went
And
through
I-
it. The engineer went through it and gave us his response.
All I have to say is we're wasting a lot of time on this. We have consulted with counsel. We have dedicated hours upon hours to look into this. This is a negligence case, and there's nothing to really prevail on a negligence case. And going to court, do you really want to take this district and on the route of spending well over $200,000 to litigate this matter with Infomark? I just don't think that's going to go anywhere, and it's not a wise decision to do. I think this is really trying to discredit the work of Infomark across the community.
You voted to.
Well, no, this is my time. All I'm saying is that this has been a consistent attack on Infomark to discredit their work, and the author of this is sitting right there, Linda Fabre. Right? So enough of this. I think
I agree.
we've talked about enough of this, so.
So I'm gonna ask Carol, do you have anything to say? And then I'm gonna ask Infomark if they would like to speak. Carol, do you have anything to say?
No, I have nothing else to say.
Would you like to say anything?
I was only here to answer technical questions,
Okay.
so if no one has any, I'm good.
Perfect. So, we made a second. Are we gonna vote?
Yes,
Let's
yes.
please vote and put this to end. All in favor? Thank you. It is done. Will not be brought up again.
Well, it can be, but we won't.
It won't. Okay. Consent agenda. Approval of minutes of the 18th of January 2023 and the 19th of February of 2025. Let's do the first one first. January 18th, now remember that's not 25, that is 2023.
So those minutes were approved previously, they just were never signed. So we just have a copy of them to be signed. That was before we took, yes.
And if I may, I was not a board member, so on that basis, I'm going to abstain, I'm going to recuse myself
Well,
from voting on
You
them.
don't have to.
Okay.
We're not voting, it was already approved, so we just need to sign it.
yeah, we just put her on the, well, I'm not sure why Tammy put her on the agenda, but it's just on the agenda for everyone to know that it's on there. They were previously approved, they were never signed.
Okay, it says approval of minutes.
Right, right.
It should have said signing of
Yeah.
minutes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, B, you want to do that one? Or do
Check
we
the
not need to
February.
do that either? Oh.
No, those are the executive session minutes. Again, you all signed a handful of those before. Those are the very brief minutes which explain why you all went into executive session. Again, there's no language or items in those certified agendas that discusses action items. Any action items that the board might have taken is in the regular meeting minutes.
Okay. Okay, great. Let's move on.
Well, we have
Accounts.
to, I'm sorry, Madam President, we have to make a motion for the February 19th
Yeah.
meetings to be approved.
I thought you were just saying, okay, that's fine. Sorry about that. I misunderstood what you were saying, Cole. So on the 21st of February of 2024, can we get an approval for those? Or if we
No,
can we
it's
do all three?
February-
Let's do
February
all
month.
three at the same time.
It's
and then-
February.
Yeah, if you want to keep talking, I will remove you again.
No,
So the 21st of February 2024, April 2024, April 17th of 2024, 18th of December of 2024, and January 15th of 2025.
Cole, I'm asking the same question again. It says approval of certified.
Yeah, those have never been presented to the board.
Okay, so you're asking for us to approve them.
Yeah, so certified agendas, when a board goes into closed session, you have to have some sort of written record that you went into closed session.
Okay.
So those are what those are.
And I guess maybe I'm restating myself again. I certainly couldn't have been in those meetings, so I was
Right.
not there. I can't vote on February 24th, 2024, nor both of the meetings in April 2024, nor the February and,
But there is three of us that can. Let's
well,
just do
I
that.
understand, but I'm.
Sure, I mean, you're not voting on what took place in the meeting, you're just voting on the record being produced, that's all. But if you prefer not to vote, that's
I did
okay.
not, I did
Yeah,
not wish
that's
to
fine.
vote.
So all in favor of the approval of certified agenda?
Do we have a second on that?
What was the motion?
Basically, a motion to approve the certified agenda minutes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Thanks.
Could have
So,
voted on the 20th.
No,
Okay, we
the-
had the count on the phone?
No, the regular minutes you haven't approved.
The February 19th, 2025 minutes. I think we need to.
They're not on here yet. Oh, they're 19.
Yeah.
So she wrote this weird. Okay, so the 19th of February of 2025. Let's go back to that one. Can we get a second on that first?
Second that.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Yeah. Accountant's report. Is she on the phone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's move on.
Kimberly, you're up.
So while we wait on Kimberly, let me just, for a consent agenda item, typically what you can do is you can just do one motion for all items. And the consent means that you all have consented to it, yeah. Okay.
We'll write it.
Are you muted?
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hold on, just one second. Okay, now I'll try it, Kimberly.
Okay, everyone, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the bookkeeper's report for this month. If you turn to page 2, there's the summary of funds of all of the accounts for the district. If if we go to page 3, we have the new first cash flow checking account. Beginning balance was 142,290.88. Receipts, 341,255.26. And then we had disbursements. The ones in green, 1232, and then 1535 through 1538 were holding checks. We're presenting tonight checks 1539 through 1574 for payments. And then the last set are holding checks as well that we're requesting signatures on for the upcoming payments. So we're requesting approval for a total disbursement of $328,140.62, leaving a balance of $155,405.52. You turn to page 5. This is the central bank operators account. We have receivables that came in, and then a few bank fees, and then we swept and transferred that money out into tax pool. Beginning balance was $15,000, ending balance, again, $15,000. Cadence checking.
Wait, I'm gonna have to stop you for just a
Yes.
second, and I'm embarrassed that I even have to do this. David, this is your last warning. Please remove your phone.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, go ahead, Kimberly.
Okay, so we have our Cadence checking account. Beginning balance, $15,000. We had AR that came into that account for February. We also transferred that money out, and then payments were made. In blue are the director's fees. The ones above it were the patrol officers. We turn to page 7. That's the reservation account. Beginning balance $12,044.93. We had rental receipts of $1,338.18. 2 bank fees, a refund, and an ending balance of $12,657.34. Last account is Cadence Bank Manager's account. Beginning balance was $42,215. Unclaimed property was taken care of and reported, total of $3,064.35, leaving an ending balance of $45,264.50. Then next page is the ABB, actual versus budget. The next 2 pages, if you'd like to take a minute to look at it, there were no anomalies there, nothing out of the ordinary. And then if we turn to page 11, we added the conference attendance for the AWBD conference that will be held this summer. Registration was from February 27th, and late registration begins May 1st. And that is the bookkeeper's report for this month. Are there any questions?
Yes, ma'am. This is Director Flores. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just want to make sure you can hear me. On page 9, let me find it really quick. So on the trash, what's the GL code for the trash service coming in for revenue? I thought I saw it here.
Say that again?
Is it the base fee that we collect the trash for, right? It's the base fee? Or is trash separate? I thought trash was separate. It's basic, right?
On your water bill?
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a separate line item because then you have to pay tax on it.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay, it was the basic service fee, right?
Correct. The MUD incurs the fee, not the resident.
And,
Okay,
sorry, I lost my place here. I had a question about it, but,
There's a trash service line item G5215, if that's what you're referring to.
G5215, trash service, yes, there it is. And that is 45,000, sorry, my brain's just all over the place tonight. $45,000. Right?
yes, that's with waste management.
That's your expense.
That's my expense.
Right.
So what I'm trying to get at is that we received, it was fire protection, I'm so sorry. So the fire protection was collected $55,414. And then our expenses for the fire protection were the same exact thing going out. That would lead me to believe that we collected every single payment of all our residents to cover the cost of the fire protection. Is that not how, do you get what I'm saying? So every month we collect, everybody has fire protection on their water bill, and we collect those fees to pay for our fire protection. Do you get what I'm talking about?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So we collect, so the way it shows, it looks like we collected every single bill paid their fire service fee this month. Do you see how that looks that way?
Well, in most cases, when we get the recap, we look at that line item, take it, and make any adjustments that are there. So as far as it being the total that was collected, that's not the case. It's not, you're not taking all of the money that was collected for that month and then turning around and paying for fire protection. There's more disbursements and other things that are also there. So the amount that's coming in was not only 55,000.
David, I'll pull the financial recap for it and I'll send it to you.
Right, because what it shows here is that we received $55,400 in revenue, and we paid out that. So to me, it shows that, we collected all the revenue from every single account. Do you see how that looks? That, everybody pays their bill, you collect the money, and you're allocating that. Maybe it's just
You gotta get the,
how I see it.
I'm gonna pull the recap.
But
you gonna pull the recap?
Yes, ma'am.
But look, this is just a question that we could probably send me an email on explaining it, so we don't have to keep killing time on this. I got other things that I'd like to discuss about the billing and invoices. So this is, honestly, if you could just send it to my email, it would be great.
So we had made an agreement that if there were questions that they needed to be emailed.
Yeah. And I would send it.
I didn't get anything.
And when did you meet with the bookkeeper?
What date was that?
The 11th, was it
We
11th?
met on the 11th.
Okay, well, I just reviewed it today, so the questions came out today.
Should have reverted it earlier.
I work, sir,
Okay,
so.
I guess maybe,
So
So we'll continue.
probably
No,
what we
we're not
had.
gonna go through them all, David.
No,
Just-
we're not.
Why
We're not,
can't-
because they can all be emailed to billing
Send me
before
the email and I'll
the
give you
meeting.
the answers.
That's why this is sent out earlier. That is why we voted what we voted at the last meeting. How many more do you
Today's my
have?
first day off. Okay.
We all work. I work 3 jobs.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? How many more questions do you have?
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
I think, let me make this statement first. Chris and I met with Kimberly and with Infomark, and we went through this, I think thoroughly, David. But certainly I understand if you have questions about some specific things, it would be helpful if we could have this on the consent agenda. But if you would pull out of it the things that you wanted to pull out of consent agenda, and then we could spend time on those.
So would you like me to tell you what bills I'd like to pull out?
Well, I'm just making a discussion right now, David, as I think a better way or a convenient way for us to work on it together. And as Mr. Rocco has said to you about contacting one of us who are on the committee, we have set in place, Kimberly and I have set in place, apologize, Chris, myself, and Kimberly, we have set in place that we will meet on the Wednesday before the board meeting to go over. And so that gives us time to ask them some questions, and we did indeed we had questions. We went through a few things. And I think we found resolution to some things, and I think she perhaps made some change. I don't know, remembering exactly with you right now. I'm confident here today that I would make a motion that we accept paying the bills. But I think it would be appropriate if you would have a reasonable number to pull out. I just, where we can't go through everything here at this time. That's a redundancy of the committee time that's spent.
Okay. I hear you. I hear the words you're saying.
But I yield to President Ms. Jones, so.
Again, the reason why we put the accounts report, make sure that I'm saying this correctly, all of us as a board, that the reason why we did it, we changed the way that we do this is so that we're not spending hours on this. You have time to do this before the meeting. It should all be taken care of. You have time to call and talk with Chris, even at night. Call them. You've got time. I understand that you are off on Tuesdays, or no, you're off on Wednesdays. You had all day today to do that. And so
Chris can't answer all these questions that I have.
I bet he could. He's on that committee.
Okay, sure, Chris.
No, we're not going to do it today. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
So let's make a motion
hold
to
on.
get the bills and invoices paid.
I have a couple of questions about.
No, we're not doing
Why
that.
can't I?
We're not doing that. That is what we voted on at the last meeting. If that was something that you didn't want to do, it could have been brought up. We shared that this needed to be done before the meeting. So the next meeting, you will be prepared
I have
to
one.
Chris or Carol, or you can call the accountant. No, you can't do that anymore.
You can't.
Cannot. You can call Chris
Because
or
you said
Carol.
that it incurs costs,
That's
which I
correct.
have
That
not
is
seen.
correct.
I have not seen costs occur. We didn't get any bills for any of that time.
Does anybody else have anything else to say for this?
Yes, I do. I have something to say.
Okay, now, David, you're finished.
Can I have 4 items I gotta ask questions.
We
4
are
items.
finished.
We get paid $200.
Hanoi, please go. If you keep going, we're going to end up in the same boat we were last week. Hanoi, you had a statement you wanted to make.
I'm not going to make any question, it's just a statement to make on you two that are on invoices. Linda Fobb stood up and said that we were meeting, or we didn't meet for Parks Committee on 02/07. I think that's a mistake on the date.
It is.
We did have a meeting at Parks Committee in that room. Elizabeth saw and was part of that meeting. We've asked her questions on that day. And again, this is to confirm again that Linda Fobb comes here every meeting, building up her little positive campaign website, Motivation, which is full of fake information, inaccurate information, just attacking and coming up with things that are non-true. We did have a meeting. We met over parks, and so we are not taking the money away from this district. We're not stealing money, Ms. Fobb. Hear me loud and clear. Just want you to know that.
Was that on the 6th or 7th?
I'm not going to ask the question. The dates are written in there.
Because Beth has
Okay.
it as the 6th.
You can
have it
ask
as
a question.
Let's get the bills and invoices paid, please. Can we please make a motion to have all bills and invoices paid? Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Oh, discussion, time, you got you got a motion, now you got a second, now we have discussion.
We've done our discussion.
No, that's the way it goes.
It's
We
done.
already
We're done.
discussed.
No, with that, motion.
You
second.
had your time. Does anybody, you're on the committee. Do you have anything that you
Motion,
need?
second, discussion.
You just seconded, correct? Do you have anything to
I have
discuss?
to explain why I'm not gonna, why I'm gonna vote the way I'm
You've already
voting.
had your time.
But I'm gonna explain
Could you
why.
object him from the meeting? I'll be happy to second that. Again,
You got one more warning. I'm sorry. Quit arguing.
I'm
So,
trying to have a discussion.
Chris, you second that, correct? Okay. Any other discussions from anyone else? Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Moving on.
Just a technicality, but if David is not going to vote, then he's not permitted to discuss, because once you've had a discussion, you've indicated you're going to vote one way or the other. Am I not correct,
Say that again?
Cole?
No, I mean, so first off, the way you all do it, you do a motion and a second, then a discussion. That's kind of, I think, a Robert's Rules of Orders.
Right.
That MUDs don't have to follow Robert's Rules of Orders. That's what you all have elected to do, so I'm not saying you have to change that. But no, I mean, I'm not an expert in Robert's Rules of Orders because you all are the only district that I know that follows them. But I think that if David's allowed to discuss any matter and still vote no, if that's what your question
But he
is.
can say he didn't want to vote? I mean, is that going to be recorded as a no vote, or what's going to happen?
If he voted no, Dave, did you vote no?
He abstained.
Well, no, I asked him Dave, let's clarify it for the minutes. If you want to either abstain or vote no, just say it for the record.
I voted no.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I thought I didn't see his hand go up.
Okay.
Okay, number 6, deed restriction committee, including A, B, and C. Status of enforcement matters, including procedure and process. B, let's just do A first. You ready? Talk about what you want to talk about.
Okay. Good. For those that are not aware, we put out an RFP to have deed enforcement services for the district once again. This has been complicated because it has come to my attention that certain residents have been instructed that we no longer have deed enforcement, or that it's just going to be residents complaining about their next door neighbor for whatever they're doing. We have received complaints. Most of them have been people that I've talked to walking my dog. They have said that they've noticed that the district does not look the same way it did when they bought their house. The committee has discussed that getting back on track as far as deed enforcements, and the deeds have a specific way that they can be altered or done away with, and each section's deeds give them the opportunity to have a vote, and this is the way deeds are supposed to be changed. So, as we were unable to get anybody except Sage to submit an RFP, I've heard claims that we went to them specifically. Nobody else wants to do this work for us anymore. We've run them off. Everybody is afraid to work for us. Now, we talked that this is not a permanent situation. We would love the district to be able to work like a lot of districts do. They know that we're a deed enforced community, and they comply with the rules. I lived in Balcones West growing up, never knew that we had a homeowners association because all the residents complied, and we didn't have to hire someone to enforce the deeds. I would rather not have someone paying them to enforce the deeds, but it has not worked out that way. So I am going to make a motion that we actually two motions. The first motion is that we accept the proposal that we've received from Sage for deed enforcement services. And the second motion is that all previous deed enforcement motions, policies, procedures, what the district did that were made prior to today are being superseded by the new agreement that we have with Sage. So the first one is that we accept their bid for deed enforcement services. And can I get a second on that?
I'll second that.
Any more discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
I guess to the deed enforcement committee, that would be Beth and Chris. Where are we getting the money for this cost? What do you estimate the cost to be?
Whatever the monthly charge is times 12.
Did you not add it all up?
Okay, then we can add it all up. We don't know what the monthly charge is going to be.
It's in the proposal.
Well, that's if they do everything.
Right, so if you did the base, all the base,
Yeah, here it is.
I'm just wondering
They just
where.
subcontract and it varies, right?
Yeah, it's gonna vary, and it was done for years. I mean,
Right,
the
right,
money's
so,
there.
so they gave a proposal, on what they're gonna enforce, and they're gonna add, of course. But do we know how much, what do we have budgeted for? Did we look at the budget? What do we have budgeted for, Chris?
I don't think we had anything budgeted for, did we?
So where's
No,
the?
we're gonna, because it was taken out last year, so
Okay,
it's
so,
gonna be taken
We're
from
gonna put it
another
back in.
area.
look from where? Where are you pulling it from? I'd like to see where we're gonna pull the $100,000 that it's gonna cost. Where?
We're
Where's
gonna pull
coming
it,
from?
we're gonna pull it from under budgeted items for the whole year.
I think we should really have that pulled out and really work that budget before we allocate $100,000 plus to deed enforcement. You know, we have, you know, a lot of things coming up that are gonna be expensive. I don't think we could afford $100,000 plus a year. It's a very
Where are
expensive.
you getting $100,000? I mean, if you did $5,000 was
If you
was
look
the
at-
highest that I could see, times 12 is $60,000.
Did you not look at the proposal, Chris?
Yeah, I
You're on
read
the
it.
deed.
And that was the proposal, but that's not, we don't have to do
You have it in
everything
front
by.
of
Yeah, I got it sitting
Okay,
right here.
I'll show you.
Okay, so, 1,559 homes, right, is $2,728.
Okay.
Each tour.
Okay?
They're doing 2 tours a month,
No,
right?
they're not.
That's what the,
No, it doesn't.
That's what they're saying, that's not what's happening.
That's not what's happening.
okay, well, according to the information that you've given,
I didn't give you that.
That is an example of what's going on. You know, we can change how many times it's as is appropriate.
so, Hanoi, did you receive the proposal that Sage sent with the dollar amount?
I did receive the proposal that they sent, received it from our attorney's office.
Okay, so, did you look over the dollar
I
amount?
did,
Okay,
and it's very clear to me that it's a contract based on the services that we request. So it's not a fixed amount.
okay, so they're not gonna do 2 tours a month?
Right now,
Right now, we hope not.
yeah, we hope we don't have to. We're hoping after the first time and some other things that we're gonna do, everybody realizes that we're finally gonna enforce restrictive covenants.
It all depends on what the people do and if they follow.
Okay.
If we can get it all back, then we don't have to do it very often, do we?
Okay, so we got a second. Any more discussion? All in favor? Okay, the second one was that this contract will supersede all previous motions, procedures, anything that was changed during the last 4 years, or actually 5 years. So can I get a second on that?
Yes, I'll second that.
discussion?
So we're going back to not enforcing chickens? We're enforcing chickens then?
I'm not familiar with the particulars on the enforcement of chickens.
Well, we're going back to how it used to be, correct?
I don't know how it used to be, David, so I can't say
You were
that.
on the board for so many years.
If I may interject.
Absolutely.
I think it's my understanding is at this point, what we have here is a willingness that has been presented to us by SAGE. My understanding is that we have no other one, we have not another one. I do not think that this is a stone engraved document. It is a listing of, if you go with the maximum of whatever they're listing there.
Oh, that's not what we're discussing right now. We're discussing, Chris said,
We're discussing
go back.
Well, I
To go back.
apologize.
It's not, that has nothing to do with
Excuse
what
me,
we're.
I was
please.
speaking.
Point of
No, I
order,
was-
she was speaking.
I was
She
speaking.
interjected me. Did you not?
Please, no, I did not, David. I apologize. If I did, David, I really did not. I raised my hand.
I was in the middle of speaking and then you, like,
I raised my hand, David. But if I have interrupted you, I apologize to you for that. So please, David, what I would like for you to do is speak to me in the way you sometimes talk with me. Can we have that kind of a conversation?
sure. My only question was, are we gonna go and enforce chickens again?
Okay, can I? And
Because,
then I raised my hand.
go ahead.
Okay, and so I was wanting to ask something of you. I think we are going down we're chasing rabbits right now instead of chickens. There are state laws concerning those factors. I read through the documents that you sent me from some time back, and what it says in there about multiples of things that are in restricted covenants, I think is the title, something or other like that. And so, I don't think that's where we need to go today, okay? I think we have other things that we need to take care of today. If we've agreed to give SAGE an opportunity to talk with us about their proposal, and then for us to negotiate with them for whatever, then that's a next step. Now, that's my recommendation, is that we move forward. And we can certainly delve into chickens or pigs or whatever, at whatever point, and as to what the new laws are and what they are not. So that's my suggestion at this time.
And we have approved number 6A, and the status of the RFP, we just did that, so let's keep moving forward.
You need a final vote for the, yes, you have, but you need a final vote for the all
For the
previous.
superseding?
Yeah.
I thought we voted for that. So, okay, all in favor? And I had one others that I don't know that we need a motion for this one. But I have noticed that communities that want to get across to their,
Hold on, David, I'm gonna ask you to leave.
No, I had asked him which way he voted, and that's why he responded to me.
I have noticed districts, neighborhoods that enforce restrictive covenants, some of them have just
What's going on here?
put a sign.
This is a circus. Point of order, please.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Chris, but I cannot, we need to have a point of order here,
I agree.
okay?
That's
He's
what
not
I-
respecting this
Okay.
board.
Go ahead, Chris, sorry that
Okay,
happened.
I have seen other districts, neighborhoods that want to show their residents in other ways than just doing the enforcement procedures, that they are a deed restriction enforced community. They have signs that are put up, and I'm gonna make a motion that we put a sign similar to that at each of, one sign at each of 4 different ways to come into the district. El Salido, Old Mill, Sunchase, and Hatch. That's my motion.
Where'd you say? Old Mill, Hatch, El Salido, and where?
Sunchase. most of those are all into the Anderson Mill West, well, actually, they're into the district.
Sunchase, El Salito, Hatch, and what was the other one?
Old Bill?
Old Mill.
Can we get a second on that, Simon?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Discussion?
Sure.
That's fine.
Sure. Can we add one, right here to Lakeland Oaks as well?
You want to do 5? That's fine.
Sure.
Change it.
And the one on the other Lakeland Oaks entrance by the detention pond?
That's Sunchase.
Is that Sunchase?
Yeah.
On both sides or just one side?
I don't know, whatever's appropriate.
Just two.
Okay.
Can we cover all entrances though?
So but those that were, perhaps those that were listed and any additional
We'll let the committee
ones.
decide.
Let the committee decide.
So 5 is what we're asking for, correct?
6.
Not 6?
Put them 6.
I don't know where the 6th one would go, but fine, vote for 6.
You got 2 on Old Mill on each end. El Salito, there's 2.
That's 3.
On each end. And
They
then
said each end of Old Mill, El Salito, that's 3.
on each end of Old Mill is 2.
Right.
Each end of El Salito is 2. So that's 4.
Okay.
Okay? And then we have Hatch, that's 2. That's 6. You can also say Park Forest, and you can also say Valente Hills. You know, there's a lot of entrances.
I think
I want to cover them all.
Can we just
Valente
go
has their own.
What's your initial motion?
Valente has,
Okay, he's done.
6.
6.
All in favor?
So 6 signs.
6 signs.
oh,
So you submitted the motion. Are you okay with 6 signs?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on to engineers report, please.
Sorry, before you start, can I just make one comment about the deed restriction section, just since we kind of flew through it? Since you all approved Sage, we'll need a contract from Sage. We want to go through that. Some of the items that, were issues last time with the district in terms of fines and stuff like that, we need to be able to make sure that none of that is addressed. Also, you all voted to basically wipe out all previous deed restriction and policies and guidelines that the district has had, including the rules that you all adopted the previous board adopted last year. So, I think the deed restriction committee should probably get together, put something together to bring to the full board to review and approve, because, I
That's
think
a good idea, Cole.
if you all want this, you're going to need to give Sage some guidance. One, you're going to need to tell Sage, we only want you coming once a month, whatever it is, so they can write it up in the contract. But also, you're going to have to, as a district, produce some guidance so they're not doing the things that you all have seen in the past, which cost the district so much money regarding stuff that I think all board directors have previously stated. This isn't a big issue to us. We're spending money on something that we don't. So that's just simply my recommendation, is to get started with that, something that you all agree to.
I would recommend that just keep it the way it is. You, deed restriction committee, meet with Sage and then draft a resolution based on the new action moving forward.
Okay.
but the ultimate contract would need to be reviewed by
Right.
our attorney before we,
Well, we did send him a copy of this contract.
well, I know.
That's
but
just
this
a
is-
proposal, though.
This is a
Right.
proposal.
Yeah, I have the
This is-
proposal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe does the rest of the board give the committee the permission to adopt the changes that Cole suggests we put into the contract, the proposal?
Yes.
So we don't have to meet again to approve their contract?
No.
Well, you'll need the contract will come to assuming, there's nothing in this proposal for you all to sign. So, Sage needs to have their contract, send it over to you all. Their contract has to state how many times you want them to come, stuff like that. I need to make sure that they don't have language in there stating they're going to, put a fine on the water bill or do anything like that. And once it comes to me, you've approved the proposal, so the contract will, once it's ironed out, will come in front of you all at the next meeting for execution.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. So whoever has the contact with Sage, ask for a contract to be produced and sent over for our review. Thank you. Sorry.
All good. Paula Scheffler here with Westwood. I'm filling in for Jacob, so I'm gonna read through his report. I apologize if I don't have a background for anything, so but I will. He filled me in as much as possible. So item 7A, discussion on streetlight repair. On the subject of streetlight repair, currently there are not any capital projects underway and nothing in particular that Westwood is tracking. So any specific repair items are likely best suited as part of the district manager and operator report. Throughout this past month, multiple public information requests were submitted with the streetlights being the subject matter. We responded to each as follows. Concerning streetlight documents, 2309 Little Elm streetlight documents, and extra light pole documents. And then we're willing to assist the district in whatever manner as directed. The discussion on power washing. Director Jones called Westwood to inform us that the trees along the right-of-way on Anderson Mill were recently trimmed, and in doing so exposed the CMU walls in that area. This area could likely be expedited in regards to the schedule of pressure washing that was currently scheduled for late summer, early fall. We relayed that information to Infomark to obtain quotes from the pressure washing contractors so that the board can review on the subject matter, with the ideal first targeted area being Anderson Mill. So the board has a budgeted line item for $10,000 for power washing this fiscal year. On sidewalk repair, there were multiple related previous topics, while not specific agenda items. We still have an update. So consider authorizing the district's attorney and engineer to draft a resolution concerning the district's handling and responsibilities for sidewalks within the district, both Travis and Williamson counties. So the board also authorized Westwood at the February meeting to work with the district attorney to draft a resolution clarifying the district's handling and responsibilities for sidewalks within the district, both in Travis and Williamson County. We had discussed this item with the district attorney and will be working to review a draft resolution and finalize a resolution for the board review. On the El Salito sidewalk, the board has approved moving forward with a proposal from CRC Concrete Raising and Repair at the February meeting. President Jones provided that proposal to you before this meeting, and I believe should receive authorization to provide to the contractor to commence repair.
I didn't review that. Somebody must have, but I did not.
Okay.
I handed it to you.
Yeah.
All right, put it up there.
Sorry.
That's the CRC that you all approved at the last meeting for the concrete work. There's a...
Oh, this?
Yes, yeah, if you can flip
Okay.
the front page, we'll show you the picture of where it is, yeah.
But, okay, thank you.
Yep.
I haven't looked at it yet, sorry.
No worries. So we had received an email from Director Rocco on the subject area along El Salito. The request identified a concern for the tree in relation to the sidewalk. I think there are pictures in there. And Westwood visited the site, took pictures of the tree of concern. As the question pertains to the specifics of the tree, it is recommended that if the board wants to investigate the health of the tree, then an arborist should be utilized. So attached is the memo detailing the site visit with images of the tree and the email. Sidewalk assessment proposal. Westwood finalized a proposal to conduct a district-wide site assessment. At this time, we are not requesting authorization to commence, but rather would request that the board wait until the sidewalk maintenance resolution is drafted and presented for review. At that time, it may be more appropriate to authorize Westwood to conduct an assessment. Attached to the report is a version of the task order that was presented to the Infrastructure Committee. Let's see, Infrastructure Committee report. Westwood met with the Infrastructure Committee on Thursday, March 6th. The meeting minutes are attached. And then other matters as needed. So status of the sanitary sewer cleaning and televising project. Westwood had has publicly advertised the project starting on February 21st, had a pre-bid meeting on March 5th, and received bids on March 12th. 4 bids were received. The lower bidder was Ames Companies with a total bid amount of $188,170 and change. This is within the budgeted amount of $310,000, $368 for the project. A summary of the bid tabulation is attached along with an analysis and recommendation of award. Westwood would like the board to award the bid for sanitary sewer project to Ames Companies. Westwood researched and documented that Ames Companies has experience with this type of work and validated their experience from references. Upon authorization, Westwood will work with Ames and the district attorney to compile contract documents and present to Director Jones for signature pending attorney review and approval. So action item there is to award the bid for sanitary sewer cleaning and televising.
You want a motion now, Cole, or wait?
Yeah, that's up.
I would probably wait, just so
Okay.
it's on your agenda. It'd be cleaner if it'll be on the agenda next meeting.
Ask a question, please. Madam President, I would like to ask, it is my understanding that the engineering firm is making the recommendation that we accept this.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Cool. Want me to keep going?
Yeah, I just want to also clarify on item B. It sounded like our president acted on her own behalf, but just wanted to make sure that we do clarify that part of the power washing the wall was part of our committee meeting that we discussed doing that, and that President Jones was to contact the firm.
Okay.
Just if they were on the street, yeah.
I
Actually, we wanted to know if it was you, that's all. But it was not.
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
That's right,
Yeah.
yeah, good.
Well, and
There were
that's,
just lots of trucks out.
I'm clarifying
Yeah.
it for
Yeah.
specific reasons, so I just want to make that very clear.
That's good.
It's not President Jones acting on her own.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good.
A couple more items here. The status of the lead and copper rule revisions project. So no significant updates have been provided by the TCEQ other than previously provided to the board. So the EPA requires that a replacement plan, annual affected resident notification, delivery of point of use devices to affected residents, material verification, and increased sampling will be required by November 1st, 2027. The EPA requires that lead service lines will be required to be replaced within 10 years. This item will continue to be discussed at the infrastructure committee meeting, and as updates arise, Westwood will update the board. Westwood and Infomark will work to compile an outline of the plan along with anticipated costs for implementation for board review as additional guidance is provided by the regulatory authorities. And then last item here, the 2012 Lakeline Oaks CMU wall. So Westwood inspected the site on February 5th on the resident side of the CMU wall. Westwood will continue to conduct quarterly inspections of the site, and the next site visit is on Wednesday, May 7th.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna go to the contractor.
Is there anything else from that? I mean, do you guys have anything else that you want to talk about on that? Does infrastructure committee have anything to say? Sounds like the wall. What are you doing? Your power washing? So are y'all approving that tonight, or what are you doing? Asking for that, or-
Well, I think, Cole, you said to wait to vote.
Yeah.
That's only on the,
No,
that's only on,
on E.
Oh, okay.
that's only on the sanitary sewer. That's a large contract and got dropped from the agenda.
what I'm saying.
So
Are
how
y'all
many
finishing
bids on the
up?
power washing have we gotten so far?
Bids on the power washing?
It's zero, she
Yeah, I
said
don't think
10,000
they-
was allocated,
Yeah, I
budgeted
don't
for.
think they've
Okay.
received.
Okay,
Yeah.
then that, do you have anything else?
Let me pull the minutes, because I think we talked about, if I recall, we talked about seeking bids on that.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Is this
Yeah, it's in the engineer's report.
Found it on the engineer report. I'm looking at the minutes of our last meeting. I don't recall. What are you finding under Cole?
In the engineer's report,
What is it? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at line item B on page 1.
Mhm.
It says, blah, 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 the area could likely be expedited. Westwood relayed that information to Infomark to obtain quotes from pressure washing contractors. The board can review. 10,000 budgeted.
And so.
Okay, so no
We
quotes
haven't got
yet?
the quotes yet.
Okay, got it. That's
So
all I
I'll
needed
have
to
it for
know.
next month, sorry.
Yeah, no, we're
Yeah.
good. No, we're good. Just wanted to know where we are on that.
Are we good?
We're good?
Okay, new business, including, looks like David discussed drafting and adopting district bylaw.
Yeah, it's no longer necessary because you already adopted the district rules, so.
Okay,
we're good.
I want to ask my leave. I have a medical procedure tomorrow that I need to go home and prepare for.
you're fine.
So, sorry.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, 8B, discuss document retention policy. This is that? Retention policy. I mean, I know what it is, what it's about. So, the retention policy is, we need to decide how many years we want to hold on to everything, right?
So you all follow the Texas Library of Archives. It's the guideline that the state sets out for all entities to adhere to. So for example, if the Library of Archives says you all have to keep construction contracts for 3 years, you can keep them for longer than 3 years if you elect, but you can't keep them for any less than what the state prescribes.
So, am I correct that the water and wastewater is 3 years?
I would have to look and see. I believe that's what Gerald mentioned earlier, but I would have to go through and see.
So is this going on the next, I guess we're going to do this on the next
Sure,
meeting?
but I think, let me check the website. I'm pretty sure last year you all adopted a policy where you said you were following the Texas State Archives rules regarding
Okay,
retention. But I'll check and see. Otherwise, we can get something and put it together for you all.
So I have a question on that. So what are we currently doing with, so if we have adopted a policy, right? If we have, we would have to look into it. What are we currently doing? Are we complying with that policy? In other words, are we
that's it.
getting rid of these documents, or what are we doing right now?
That needs to happen.
So I'll have to review your policy, but typically, majority of the records are kept, and most MUDs have a retention policy. It varies from MUD to MUD, and it depends on like handwritten notes, when they can be discharged, etc. Normally, compliance records we keep for infinity, but even though the record retention says, it's 3 years for water and wastewater records, just for operational purposes, we keep them. But I'll review it and get back with you. So,
Yeah, you say for others that you work with, are you keeping them in paper form or you got them in some sort of
So before we all went electronic,
Right,
they were
right.
in boxes in their paper
Right.
form. Now everything is pretty much electronic. Like our field personnel have tablets and they enter information in on it. So it's electronic.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. it's an ominous task that you said if you keep them all, and if you're converting them to whatever form of e-product that you're creating, that's a humongous amount of pieces of paper that you have to do something with.
Understood.
So what's your process in those other places?
So for boxes, if we have boxes for the district, and I'll have to look and see if McKinsey ever brought you. So last year we made a push of anything that we had at offsite storage, any records that were greater than 10 years or more, we brought it to the boards and said, these are the records that we have, we would like to have them shredded. So I'll have to look and see if she brought any of that information to you. I know for the majority of the districts we did, because several of our contracts are many years old, so we had like a list that we brought to the district, and they were shredded. Because at that point, they would then have to start paying for the storage, the offsite storage for these paper records. So,
Okay.
but I'll look into that.
So right now, we haven't really followed an archive policy in the sense that, let's say, hypothetically, right, there's a 3-year limit.
As far as like water and wastewater, no, we would keep those.
Okay.
So do we need to make a motion for that we follow exactly what the state is allowing us or asking us to do?
And get rid of the documents?
Yes.
Yeah, all the documentation.
It would more be if you want, everyone's adhering to the state policy. So if the state says you can get rid of them at fiscal year end plus 3 years, and we keep them for 5 years, that doesn't mean you're not adhering to it. That just means we're all just keeping the records, which most MUDs will do. Some have converted to electronic, but for the most part, with older districts, you have a lot of files, right? So if there are districts who say, we want you to adhere strictly to this, and when that time frame hits, we don't need these records anymore, you can get rid of them to save on storage space or whatever, as long as we follow those guidelines, that's kind of how we monitor. If you all can limit us to what's in the records retention policy, but we're not going to do anything that is before that deadline, and if we're not told otherwise, we're probably going to keep the records for as long as necessary. Space dependent, of course. I mean,
all I'm saying, want to make sure we're not keeping 10 years of records.
Right, understood.
Getting rid of the records that are not being used for many reasons, right? So.
So do we want to make a motion that we get rid of exactly how it is said that we need to hold them?
Yeah, shred them and delete them if they're not
Okay,
we just want to make sure that we're in compliance with the current rule, but anything over the date, let's just shred them and delete them. Of course, we have to submit a motion, and I don't know if we.
So let's make a motion on that, correct? Make a motion that we.
Now, well, wait a minute, because we might have do we have any records that already states how to manage those records, Cole? Because I'm not aware of a
I'm going to look and
policy
see
in place.
if y'all have, it kind of goes back to my point, y'all have a lot of policies. Let me look on the website and see if there's anything.
I don't recall anything like that.
I remember this coming up a year and a half or so ago. It may have never gotten adopted. This goes back to about my time. I'll confirm and see, but I mean, again, even absent a resolution, we still follow the state's retention policy because that's the law. So, if you do a motion to basically say once that deadline hits, get rid of the documents that can be discarded, then we'll do that. There are documents that are older than that, for example, my office needs to keep what we call transcript documents. So whenever we have to send files to the Attorney General's office, we have to keep documents that relate to the creation of the MUD, any annexations. There are a lot of documents that we have to keep for the district's lifetime. But, I got 103 boxes, I think, from Williams and Travis 2 years ago. And I'm going to say at the time when those boxes came in, the board did not direct me to, go through all of them. We went through and pulled records as we needed. But, I'm sure there's probably some construction contracts and proposals in there from 10, 15 years ago. We just haven't, we have them in our filing cabinet. We haven't been asked by anyone, open records request or non, to go through them or pull anything like that. But everything that we've been asked to pull, we've had on our online system.
Yeah, so the first thing that would have to be done would be to go through them, to find what needs to be kept forever.
Right.
Okay, and pull those out.
Yeah, I think that would be probably the same for
Yeah.
all your contractors, yeah.
Right.
So let me ask you a legal question. So let's say somebody comes forth and files a lawsuit against the district, and at the discovery stage of the case, they want to go back 10 years, and we have those boxes in your office. Would we have to produce those 10 years of records?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
That's why we gotta get rid of them.
Well,
No, I am not making that statement. I just want to make that very clear. You are assuming, you're making an assumption.
I just made a statement.
Well,
okay, guys. I'll just make a personal statement here. I've lived a lifetime under federal and state laws in the educational world, and I've bled over those. And I put in timelines so that I knew what date I had to pull this next year's records that needed to be reviewed, and to know what had to be, what must be kept, and what was okay to pass to the shredder. And I was very diligent and very careful to do that, because I was dealing with programmings for children with disabilities, and I was not ever going to be careless with that in any form or fashion. And my standard from where I work from, it was 7 years that I had to deal with. So I'm sensitive about this arena, and so I care greatly about it. And David, I will say that I will be one to be very interested that we do it correctly.
I just emailed the board and you, Elizabeth, the records retention policy, so you all, at your leisure, if you want to go through,
and that would, as far as you know,
93
that
pages
record
of
retention
schedules.
policy complies with current law?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. So I want to make a motion that we direct Infomark to shred, delete any files that are outside of our record retention, current standing policy and state law.
Just
So
a
we
clarification question. Do you want that done on a certain interval throughout the year, annually?
So
I would say that the way to do it is to establish a date for it to be done yearly, and that you have a plan. For example, we are here now at March 2025, so 3 years before where we are, plus 1 is what? I don't know, 2025 is back that far, that we would need to keep.
Yes,
Okay, and that, if I'm incorrect, Cole, you correct me, but that whatever that time frame is, that it's currently where we are, back that number of years.
Yeah, I mean, the policy is the policy. I'm not going to, I trust Infomark to adhere to the policy in terms of going through their records. I can't, I'm not going to be able to go to everyone's office and look at, to make ensure that all documents meet the
Yeah,
schedule.
but my point is that I think we need to have an established date that it's done by, because you can't be asking people to do it all over the calendar. I mean,
By the end of the year, the last day of the year.
well, that's pretty.
Well,
whatever.
the date in the schedule is fiscal year end. So for you all, I think it's, so it's fiscal year end plus 3, plus 5, or, infinity. So it would probably be the month after your fiscal year end is when consultants would put that on their, radar.
You wanna
So,
change
yeah, I
it?
want to change the motion. I do want to make it clear, because Infomark is our custodian of records, but you do also retain records for the district, correct?
Correct.
And so I guess the motion will go for both our legal office and Infomark.
And
Yeah, any
accountant
records or accountants.
as well.
Yeah, any
You want to say district
any
consultant?
district consultant or contractor to follow the current standing record retention policy and state law. So anything outside of that must be shredded and deleted by the end of the fiscal year, right? Is that what we?
Yeah, month
Can
fall.
you get a second on that?
Okay.
All in favor?
I think David wanted to say something on that.
No, I was just gonna ask you, Mark, how, you're obviously familiar with the retention policy and how many years and all that documentation, because I'm not very familiar with it, but y'all, I'm imagining are, correct?
Familiar with
The-
most retention
yeah.
policies, yes.
Yeah, what documents to keep and what not to keep?
Yes.
Okay.
Anything else? Anybody else? Okay, all in favor? Okay.
No.
Okay, C, discuss changing board meeting time. I actually am asking for this. I am asking that we either, which this is a discussion first before I make a motion, either 5:30 or 5:45 on Wednesdays. Does anybody have any say, anything that they want to talk about on that? 5:30, 5:40? Can you do 5:30 once a month?
So you're making a motion? That's
Why
to
won't we?
change-
Yes.
Okay, but you want to kind of know what time, yeah, 5:30, 5:45, if.
I think you would
I'm
want-
fine either
okay.
or, so.
Then I'm going to make a motion that we change our board meeting time to 5:30 instead of 6:30, which would take effect at our next board meeting. They're very excited, correct? You're fine with this time?
Yeah, I'm okay moving the meeting up. As long as the board, you have a quorum,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really our only concern.
Engineer's okay? We check with the engineer? And the bookkeeper and everybody else, all the other contractors?
Kimberly, can you still hear me?
Kimberly's still there? I have not spoken to Kimberly.
She's still there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So it would be a motion to change the regular board meeting time to 5:30 PM.
Are you okay with that?
Our shift's going until 6.
What?
I said our shift's going until 6, but if necessary, I can try to make adjustments.
For 1 day a month?
Yes, ma'am. I can figure it out.
Did she hear us?
Yes, so, hold on just a second. Okay. Kimberly, the board is talking about moving their meeting time from 6:30
Yes.
from 6:30 to 5:30. Is that going to be an
Yes.
issue for y'all?
No. I'm
Okay.
sitting here listening. No, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, then I am making the motion that we change our board meeting time to 5:30 PM. Any discussion?
Well, didn't get a second.
Did you get a second?
A second.
You did second.
Then we need a
I
second.
have not
Oh,
seconded.
Okay,
okay, I
thanks.
apologize. I don't.
David just seconded it.
Okay.
Any discussion?
We've done that.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. I'm hoping that that helps everybody. So, D, discuss stage 3 water conservation. Do you want to discuss that a little bit?
Sure. So we received a letter on Monday from the city of Cedar Park. They have moved to stage 3 and they're also implementing the temporary water rate that's applicable to the district. This went on the water bills last year. Once they moved back to stage 2, it came off the water bills. So since it went into effect on March 1st, you haven't been invoiced for, or none of the district's consumption has been invoiced for March 1st yet. So it will appear on the next month's water bills, just so you know. Okay?
Are we gonna do any, across Cedar Park, you see all the signs for the stage 3? Are we gonna do any signs with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many do you think we should order? How many would you like to order?
Do we have them from prior years, or?
No, we use City Parks last time, but I'm not sure if they have enough.
So we can order y'all some. And do you want to do 6 like you're doing the entrances
Oh,
for?
well,
Oh, I think.
We need more than that.
way more than
Okay.
6. You
We need more than
need,
that.
you need maybe
Okay.
60. But,
How about 25?
yeah.
20.
And
Okay.
we don't have any of them in storage from prior years.
I can check. Stage 3.
I thought, yeah, we've always just used Cedar Parks. If we do Lake Pine Oaks, we do Valente. You know what, can we change that to 30? Are y'all okay with that, 30?
Because any that we don't use, we can put in the storage units.
That's
so,
fine.
no.
If you can make it.
I'd rather have more than less, because some are gonna fly, and then we can use them next year. You got Valente Hills, Lakeline Oaks, 1,900 homes is spread out. I think every entrance, every corner, I think, that's what we're here for, to inform people about water. I think it's important to really get that message out and conserve water. That's just my opinion.
So 30, or do we want to bump it higher? That's up to you.
I'm fine.
30.
If we needed, what do we do when we go to stage 4? Which, we haven't even hit summer yet, so we're probably gonna have to reorder them again. So,
We'll see. Maybe we can get a sticker that just goes over with a
Yeah.
number that goes.
There you go.
Just hook it on there.
Smarter, smarter.
Let's start with 30.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
okay, so do we need to make a motion for that, or can we just do that? How does that work?
Your rate order has it as a pass-through rate, I believe. Is that what you're?
I think they're talking about the signs.
The
right?
sign.
Oh, yeah, do a motion. If you're gonna spend money, do a motion.
Yeah,
Not-
on the
not to
regular,
exceed.
that's not it.
Okay, let's make a motion that we are, what's it called, for our
Stage
Water-
3 contingency.
stage 3 water conservation signs, that we order 30 to be able to put into the neighborhood. And if we can follow what Cedar Park has on our signs, that would be fantastic.
Perfect.
So yes, so the motion is to please make, or we have making 30 signs for stage 3 water conservation, please.
Can we do a not to exceed amount? Just want to make sure, like, how much should we limit those 30 signs to?
If we're gonna get the ones that are like the flexible, that go on the little metal posts.
That will last in the rain.
Yeah, that they'll last in there. I can't see that being more than $1,500 for 30. I mean, and that's high, I think, but.
Not to exceed $1,500.
That's a lot.
It's not gonna,
And,
it's not gonna be
and
that
that's just
high.
it, and I will, once I get it, because I'm just putting enough,
I mean,
Okay.
30
okay.
signs at $5 a piece.
That's what I was
These are the
thinking.
corrugated
That's the numbers that came
signs,
to mind.
regular
Yeah.
corrugated signs. You're not going to get them in $5, $4 a piece.
Yeah.
It's $150, so
So let's bring it down to
But-
500.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean,
And then if we have to order
Okay.
more, it's there.
I tell you what, how about I just order them, and if it exceeds whatever amount you give me, we'll eat the rest. So you're saying $500?
yeah, $500, much better, yeah. Not to
Okay.
exceed 500.
Okay. So, can I get a second on that?
A second.
Okay, any discussion?
I'm gonna sign that, just so you know.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, general manager?
Okay. Okay, if you go to the executive summary, which is on page 10 of the report, there's been lots of discussions regarding streetlights. So in your packet, we do have a couple of quotes for repairs of streetlights. One did come in today, and that was for the one on El Salado. Let me see. So it didn't make it into the packet, but if you would like to approve it this evening, we can. I can send it to you.
So I have a question on that one. Is this the one, do we know for a fact that this light belongs to the district?
Yes.
It does, the one in the one in El Salado?
Yes.
By the retirement home?
It's 3301 El Salado, and it's on our,
And it is the one by the enclave. If it's 3301, then yes, it is.
I thought we discussed that in the past,
We have.
and we made a motion that we weren't gonna approve it.
well,
The light needs to be put here.
okay, so on the agenda, or on the general manager's report, one of the items is streetlights. And then and I'll just go down on the current report, and then we'll go over the previous action items, and then the current. Your accountability for the month is 81%. Your delinquent letters were mailed 136 letters were mailed, 87 tags were hung, and 8 were disconnected. Under notable customer requests, there's none to report this month. Under your previous meeting action items, we brought up the security cameras at the Lake Line building last month for the quote for the 8-channel. There was no action taken, so I just put that it was tabled. Any items that end up getting tabled will be moved off the report for the following month. The customer deposits, so the meter reading recording equipment meeting recording equipment, that was something that was brought up several months ago, so that will again come off since it's been tabled. The customer deposits audit, I have gone through the 80 accounts. There are approximately 20, and there are some that are commercial accounts that I would like to get with the billing and invoice committee, because that would be the only committee that I think would be appropriate, and see if they want to go ahead and add deposits to those. One is Leander ISC, and then there's AutoZone. They're all commercial. There are several on the list that, because they're connecting new service right now, they don't have a deposit. Once their service is connected, then the deposit will be added. And then there were several that were from 1980, 1986. They all were removed because of good payment history. So moving forward, I will continue to monitor that on a quarterly basis. And if there's any that at the time the service was connected, that fee wasn't clicked when they set up the service, I'll ensure that it gets done in a more timely manner. So, under the Cortex, we brought you the proposal last month, and you approved to do the 2 tennis courts only, and then 2 pickleball striping. However, that didn't include all the pickleball striping for all the facilities. That was only for Anderson Mill West. And so we went back to Cortex, and they provided what the striping would be for 12 in total for Anderson Mill West and Lakeline Oaks. So that is under the current items for your approval, and it's the 3rd item down. So just to keep in line where we're headed, we're at the next table, which is your current items for board consideration. And what the first item is one of the lighting. That's at 2309 Little Elm, and the quote and the packet is in the packet. But the total is $56.60. And this was an updated quote because it was previously presented in August of 2023. But no action was taken at that time.
Was there a difference in the quotes?
Yes, because there's a difference in cost.
Was it substantial?
No. I mean, I can email you both, but it's not that big. Also, in talking to the engineer in the infrastructure meetings, several meetings ago, we discussed some issues that we found at Cashel Pond. I wanted to ensure that this wasn't going to impede on any of the CIP work that Jacob was doing. So he looked over the proposal, and he said that it did not. Since Jacob isn't here, if you want to hold off and, you know, ensure that he's okay with it. Same for the Madeline Loop Bridge repairs, and the Esther Pass. All of those were discussed with him at previous meetings. And I just want to make sure that it wasn't going to impede with any work that he had on the CIP. And so if we want to hold off on those, we can until the next meeting, since Jacob wasn't here and you don't have an engineer present right now.
Does everybody agree to that? To hold off?
Yeah, let's have,
Yes.
let's consult this with you.
Okay, so D, we'll hold off.
And then the only other item, and it's kind of, is again, the Cortex, to have the pickleball striping, to get all of the courts striped free.
Okay, and what is the cost on that?
The difference was, so previously, the tennis court was $17,500, and then to do 2 of the pickleball courts, it was gonna be an additional $500 for the 2. So it was gonna be $1,000. And then, so, just the tennis court, $17,500. To do all 12 pickleball lining is $3,200. And they said the color, the specialized color to use is light blue, because it's easier to see.
Right. Well, what about if, how do you guys feel about if we try to approve at least this one right here?
We talked about it at last meeting, so.
I know, it's already been talked about. We just
I think
need to approve it.
3,200 for the remaining ones to be striped, which are 12, is amazing. If you look at 2 pickleballs was $1,000, 500 a piece. Now you multiply that by 12. Look at the price. Look at what you're paying. You're paying $3,200 for 12. I think it's a hell of a deal. Since they're already here, might as well get them.
So are you gonna make a motion on that?
Yeah, I move that we accept Cortex proposal for $3,200 to restripe all.
We need them done. So.
Yeah, I agree.
I just, you know, I wanna make sure that we also get these lights up. That has been a big issue, so.
Okay, and then,
I need a second on the motion.
Yeah, he's got a motion, but we need a second on it. We need a second that on the pickleball. Any discussion?
Any additional thoughts on this, Elizabeth, that you, any additional observation?
so the only other item is the Little Elm, the light, if y'all want to make a motion on that.
No, I'm talking about,
No,
sorry.
this, we need to stick on this one first.
Oh,
On
Let's get
Cortex.
through-
On the tennis.
On the Cortex,
Yes.
on the tennis court.
No.
I mean, I don't know this company, so I'm just wondering if there's anything,
They've done work for several districts within the Austin area, and everybody's been pleased with it, so.
okay. Okay.
Okay,
Well, pricing
all-
is good, so
Do you have anything to say? Okay, all in favor? David, do you have something to say?
No, I'm all in favor.
Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay, can we go back to the first one on the 2 lights?
On the streetlights.
We have the 2 street lights, so that we can have those. Do we have a number on the repairs for those, so that we
So
can get
on
those
the
lights fixed?
2309, it's 5,660.
What is it?
5,660. And in the comments, it says exactly what they're gonna be doing.
Is that gonna be the same for El Salito?
No, because this one for 2309, it had to include the conductors as well, so, and the one for El Salito was just sent today.
And that one was how much?
I'm not sure. That's all it was.
But there's no pool there.
yeah, that's probably fine.
Yeah, the pole was taken down. I'm not sure. Can I ask why insurance was never even, or you may not know, but. that was
Why insurance was engaged for,
El Salito.
I don't know, but I can see if Mackenzie attempted to submit an insurance claim and if it was denied.
But the person who did it just left. Yeah.
So I still have a question on El Salito, the 3405 El Salito. The what?
3301, I think.
No, the 3405 East El Salito Parkway light pole. So how did the city confirm that that is indeed our light pole, or not theirs?
It's in the list of our lights.
It is on, okay,
I thought we discussed this in the past meeting.
right.
We voted because we found that it wasn't, but,
If it is our lane, we need to get it fixed.
well, yeah, I agree, if it is our life, but I think, Cole, you remember that discussion?
Yeah.
And we came to the determination that it wasn't ours, because we had Jacob look into it as well.
So do you want to look into this one more time?
I think-
Move it to the next meeting
I
and we
will
approve the
confirm
one
I
that
certainly
we do
don't.
have,
But, okay,
correct?
just for 3301.
Correct. Yes,
I will get with Jacob.
okay.
Yeah, because
Then do we want to make a motion for the second one so we can get Little Elm fixed? Anybody want to make that
Yeah,
motion?
Little Elms, I think looks good to me.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And the 1100 Hunters Creek, it was already reinstalled. So that was the one at last month's meeting, they said it was gonna be like 18 to 20 weeks to get a new pole. They delivered a new pole, but it was damaged. It was like, had been smashed by something, yeah. So they ended up getting another pole and getting it installed. So that was resolved.
Wait, so they received it, it got smashed, then so we had
No,
to.
it was received damage.
Right, and
Yeah.
so, I was gonna ask, when did they receive it smashed and then they got a new one? Is that what the delay was? Because we waited so long, or?
I have no idea. I mean, they
Again, so we can keep moving forward, does someone want to make a motion on Little Elm? To get this light fixed?
I move that we accept the bid from MNC Electric for the pole at 2309 Little Elm for the amount of $5,660.
Right.
I second.
One second. Anybody want to talk about it?
Yeah, I just have a question. I just want to make sure it's the right lighting. I have been in cases before where, you know, the light is different and then all of a sudden we have a resident complaining it's too much light, you know, light pollution and whatever. So I just want to make sure that we have the right lighting in place. I'm looking at the information here. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I can't tell you if that's the right lighting or not. Just want to make sure that we're not replacing a light and then a resident is complaining because it's polluting the neighborhood, too much light, you know? So have we looked into that?
Yeah, so somebody asked for, and I think this was part of the PIR, what fixture was being utilized, and so we reached out, got that information and provided it to the attorney.
Okay.
So it's the same.
That's
The
the
same lights,
Yes.
okay, all right.
You're good.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. I see that B was not discussed. Discuss contract with Badger Meters, including installation of remaining meters
Oh,
and endpoints, IM Water.
So,
many-
Badger did send an email, and I forwarded that to Cole. And we did receive the final invoice of what they considered the true-up of what you were charged versus what you were charged. And from that, I think Cole said we're good to move forward. I don't know as far as if you have a good agreement yet with them.
No.
Okay, so until the agreement is in place, I wouldn't recommend getting any additional meters.
Well, I think we have the meters, they just need to be put in.
No, we've already installed the 600 that you had. They're just not, they don't have active endpoints until there's an agreement.
Like 500 or something, okay.
Yeah, so
So we're
we've
gonna hold off.
asked, we've asked before, if you want to ask your contact again at Badger, just to send us over their agreement, that way we can
Absolutely.
try to put it on your next agenda.
So can
Okay.
you add that to, well, I'll add it, yeah. Okay, so B. Okay, 10, we're gonna move on, correct? We're done?
The only other item is, we had to repair the heater last month. That's your item D building. We had to repair the heater at this facility, so.
And what was the cost on that?
That's, I don't think that's in here. I'll have to email it to you, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Anything else on that?
No, ma'am.
I just want to say, I like the table that you made and put on here, really, I like it.
For the previous and current.
And yeah, it really is,
So it becomes like just a tracking.
yeah, I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, 10, we got security committee, including, and as we know, we lost Stinson. So we've got, we have a replacement, he's here. This is Adam. I don't think there's really a whole lot more that we need to talk about right now. Roving patrol, we're gonna keep it the same pretty much right now. So I don't think there's anything else that we need to discuss on that.
Officer Cruz, is there another deputy that is gonna join you? Because I know it was you and Stenson that did the road patrol. Is there?
So Jones Mud is in 2 precincts, 2 and 1, and so some of the deputies from precinct 1, who have the same authority,
Right.
we're all the same, are gonna come in and start
Okay.
this week. 5 days a week, great. Okay.
Okay.
So 11 was Parks Committee. What we went over on here is discuss a proposal for landscaping at entrances. We're gonna, I believe that this is gonna be talked about tomorrow.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
guys
I
have
have
your
a
meeting?
meeting with Land Care tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. And I think that's it on that.
Are you looking for like a xeriscape kind of thing, or you?
We're just replacing what has died and we need things trimmed up. And so right now we're on park maintenance as summer is coming.
So are we talking about just what entrances are we?
Where things died or
Well,
whatever.
I guess I'll wait for the proposal. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, they've got the pictures and all, so. You can drive around, there's a couple on El Solito that you can see that all died and we've got it cleaned up, we just need to replace.
Well,
And then I'll come back. 12, committee assignments and reports, including Information Management Committee. Is there anything?
Well, just a little bit. Certainly, there were some questions that came in questions about the yellow stripes on Anderson Mill Road and of course, Cashel Wood as well. And I've learned that those were marking gas lines because of the traffic light work they were doing on Anderson Mill Road. So they wanted to be sure that they didn't hit gas lines. So, and then also there were some questions that came in from a particular resident, but some more than one, about fiber optics, and I have learned that we've learned that the City of Cedar Park says that those are individualized contracts with companies such as Spectrum or Verizon or whomever, and there's that, I don't mean to limit it to that, but whomever they are, and that actually if you were actually to, we've not had contact yet, but contact with the City of Cedar Park, I think the man's name is Thane, I think that's the correct name of the person in charge, who would know whatever kinds of contracts there are, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, that's a pursuit, I suppose, that perhaps we can learn something about what is happening. As far as the website itself, yes, Touchstone is to be the one that we contact to make additions to the website. And we will certainly do that. We appreciate getting the water notice on the website. We asked for information about, we have noticed in other places where you have the notice, it actually comes from state of Texas or Texas A&M is the research area that brings it about, in terms of oak wilt. And what the current signs are saying that we are in the peak season of oak wilt season right now. And so we anticipate getting that on the web quickly. We should have already had it there, but we don't. Whatever, but we will get it there. And because we have many people who go around and offer to trim our trees. And so I think it behooves us to notify our public that they might consider something else instead of doing that. So. Any questions?
I would like to thank you for bringing up the questions that have arisen through the website. I think this is the first time that anybody has heard of questions that residents have sent in. Really appreciate that feedback. I don't think communications in the past have done that. I really appreciate that.
We are trying,
Yeah,
and
that's
there are
great.
some that, we are answering, we are.
Because, I like to know what the residents are thinking and asking, so I appreciate that. One thing I would like to see if you could work on is to slow the cost of PIR requests. The attachments to the meetings, if we can work on getting those as early as possible. So this way Cole isn't, I think Cole's mentioned it before in the past too, if we can get that in there. So we're not, residents don't have to open records request that, and we can keep costs down. So that would be greatly appreciated.
So you're asking that we seek about some ways to cut down the cost on PIR costs?
Right, so,
Because getting it in quicker, is that what you're saying?
right, as soon as possible, the attachments, because they tend to be there either the day of or afterwards. And I don't think it does the public any good to, we
Okay.
want them.
And I appreciate you saying that, David. One thing which you kind of opened the door for me is that I know there was some innuendo towards me about the cost that I was making to the district because I was spending money coming up here. And it's not the clubhouse I'm coming to the office. But the reason for my coming up here is because of technology issues. And otherwise, I would have sent them from my house. But there were technology issues that were not functioning well. And so that was part of my delay in getting them any sooner. I had them ready, but there was a delay there. And so, but I will do my best. I would like it if I didn't get those requests anymore, David. But nevertheless, I respect the people's rights to do that if that's what they wish to do. Sometimes you could ask me a question and I'd be happy to probably talk with you if you wanted to. But anyway, I've written that down, and that is a written note I've just made. So thank you very much.
Yes, the attachments are there now. When I checked this morning, they weren't. So, if we just could get it sooner so we don't incur that cost.
When you say we, okay, all right, thank you.
When you talk about attachment, what attachment are you talking about?
So, on the website,
I'm very familiar with what attachment, but what is specific, what attachment are we talking about? Are we talking about
the bookkeeper.
reports? Are we talking about billings and invoices? Because attachment can be very vague. So what is it specifically that you're asking that we attach to the files?
The bookkeeper report, the engineer report, the general manager report, the attorney report, and new business items. Everything we just get it early.
Well, if you look each of them, there are certain months that we put more stuff in there, so it's not being consistent. So I just wanted to make sure, for consistency purposes, what is it that we're going to attach? I think that's really important, because soon it'll turn into attaching all of the billing and invoices and every record of the district. But anyhow, I just wanted to make sure that we were clear on that.
Can I ask you who is we?
We the people.
Okay. We just don't get any other PIRs except for like 3 people.
Yeah, the people. We are all
The people, I totally agree with that statement. Okay, next, waste management, do you have anything?
I think it's spring, we should be discussing spring cleaning, the dumpsters. I think it's something that we should put on the next meeting.
Did y'all have a meeting this month?
There's no need, we can discuss it. I just don't like to incur costs for a meeting that to discuss it, so.
But it has to be 2 people, so I'm asking, did y'all meet this month to have something to share?
No, but I think that we can get it on next month's agenda and decide when to have it done.
Management, open records.
Yeah, I have a question for Cole on open records. Every month we get hours of open records, right?
Hours.
So how many hours have we logged this month for open records requests?
I only have ours. Tammy gets the amount, she requests the amount of hours spent from all the different consultants when they have to pull records. It should be in the spreadsheet that the district has. I just don't have it open in front of me. the total should be in there. So I can only tell you, based on what I'm looking at right here, just what we have.
Well, you're supposed to keep records of every
Right, it's all,
contractor, including directors, correct?
well, directors, y'all
I
are
sent
public.
Tammy my report, my 3-hour.
She's asking.
No, I know, but
searching,
you
so
can't
she's asking
charge,
for
you
that.
can't charge as a director, as a public
I
official,
understand,
you
but
can't
she's
charge
she's
for it.
asked me for records, like how many hours did I dedicated pulling records, and so I just want to know what's the total for this month.
I would have to pull it unless it's on the chart that the
Do you have
district
last
has.
month's?
The spreadsheet that's on the district's website that has all the things should be completely updated with all the PRR requests and
But you're
total
the
time.
custodian of that spreadsheet. You are the person in charge of open records requests, correct?
Tammy puts the time into that spreadsheet. Yes, our office does.
Correct. And can you tell me?
I don't, I
exactly-
just
you
said I don't have the spreadsheet
information
open
about
in front of me.
record?
So no, I don't.
All right, that's good. Good.
Can
Yeah,
you
I'd
make
like
sure
to
you
know
provide a record? We need to keep consistent. The public needs to know the amount of money we're spending on this. So I'm going to ask you, of you in your office, to provide a report every month on how many hours have been, yeah.
Madam
So-
President, I think he needs to put that on the agenda so we can make a motion, because we have to allocate
Well,
money.
no, it's part of open
Excuse
records,
me,
and I'm going to
It is
ask
part of,
her
David,
to report on that.
don't do it.
So, I'll just-
David, stop.
I think,
Hanoi is speaking, stop.
So,
Finish.
sorry.
So, Madam President, all asking is that we, during open records request report, that we inform the public how many hours, right?
And who is requesting these, please?
Who's requesting that report or the hours?
And the hours that it has taken to do that? Because it's only 3 people, times 4.
Okay, I'm trying to find, on your Google Drive, you all have that open records spreadsheet, and I just can't locate it.
Okay, but if that can go forward, and I believe that, is that what you're asking, that for?
Yeah, we just need a report for the public.
So we'll upload, which Tammy should be doing, our office should be uploading all the time into that spreadsheet. So then what you want us to do is, in addition to that, is just put together like a 1-page memo on the hours that were cumulatively spent by the
Each person,
consultants.
yeah.
For
Okay.
each person, right? Because we.
Yeah,
are
of course,
wanting-
it's requester 1, requester 2, yeah, exactly.
We are
Yes.
we're wanting to make sure that we are following the resolution that we approved.
No, of course, no, I
And
understand.
so, person A, how many hours, person B, how many hours, so that we can report that every month, and so the public can know, right, the amount of money been spent on these requests.
Yes, absolutely. We can put one together for January and February, or in March to present at your April meeting.
Okay.
So you at least have those 3 months.
I think it's really important because it lets people know what's really going on.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, can I speak then? You said wait my turn.
Go for it.
Thank you.
Link to that spreadsheet.
I'm just a little confused that, when you're asking Cole to do this report and to spend time and money. I thought when we spend time and money, we have to vote on allowing to do that. Is that not how it works when we spend money, Cole?
I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Yeah,
What's your question?
So we're asking you to submit this memo and this report on how many hours, who requested it. I was under the impression that when we spend money, we have to make a motion.
Yeah, you don't have to, but typically you do. It's kind of, sometimes can be motion heavy in terms of things, because I think if a board spends money, it's good to show that on the record.
I just don't want 2 directors to make decisions.
No, we're not making decisions. This was approved via resolution. He's the person responsible to
Point
provide
of
that for
order,
the district.
interrupting, point of order. Double standard.
You
Double
finished your
standard.
sentence.
Double standard. I just don't want 2 directors to be making decisions. I believe that we should all have a say, we should all have a vote, so it's clear.
And Carol, how do you feel about that?
Excuse me, point of order, you're interrupting. It's a double standard.
What else do you want to say, David?
I'm smiling. I'm smiling.
That's okay. No, let him finish. What else do you have to say? Okay, he's done. Go ahead, Carol.
Well, yes. David is correct in many ways, and so is Hanoi correct in many ways. I do think we covered this, and Cole, forgive me because I'm not remembering as well as perhaps you do, but I thought we had covered this particular stuff the last time when we were talking about all of this. And so I remember the discussion about the cost of whether you were doing it or if it was Tammy or whatever. I don't want this to be something that is arduous. I don't want it to be a time-consuming thing for you to calculate the number of hours that somebody has put in. But I do think it is value, David, we've talked much from multiple points of view about keeping our public informed. And I think this is as important as many other things are that we keep our public informed about as well. We are spending significant amounts of money in this area. And I know that, for example, my own self was asked for my written notes. And I smiled about that one. I didn't really spend any time reading over them before I pulled them. I just copied them and sent them in.
It's a game.
And so,
Very expensive game.
you know, but I don't hide anything. So my notes are somewhat facetious, I suppose. But nevertheless, I do think this is a significant thing to keep our public aware of as well. So the most economical way, Cole, for us to do that, then, and I think we did discuss this at the last meeting, so.
Right, no, it's being done, we just don't have like a memorandum to present you all, which is kind of what Hanoi is asking tonight,
Okay.
and
And
so.
we want to make sure that we are charging the the person that's incurring
Right.
the cost of the district that comes out of their pocket, not
Correct.
our district.
Correct, once it hits that threshold, exactly, correct.
Well, we may have to change the rule because it is getting ridiculous. So,
Okay,
and that's,
well,
anyway,
that's-
It's a law.
there's other laws.
It's a
I've
law.
learned how some other districts have done it, and there are some great ideas that I learned about
Getting
this week.
information from Zach Evans.
Okay,
No.
all right.
I haven't spoken with Zach in probably a year,
All right.
maybe
So,
two.
He'll be back shortly.
So, are we down to the attorney's report? Is that where
You do.
we are?
Hey, Carol, hold on. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. Can we collect money prior, some sort of deposit prior to the open record request? So let's say resident A comes in and wants to request 5 years of retroactive records. Can we ask for a deposit in front before we release any record?
So it's not necessarily a deposit. Let's say requester A comes in and asks for that type of documentation. What we do is we calculate how much time that would take to gather that request. If it's over the threshold that's allowable by law per month, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's over that, we have to send a letter to the requester stating, this is our anticipated amount of time that's spent, it's going to cost this much money. Do you wish to move forward with this? If so, you're going to need to pay the balance. Alternatively, a lot of people will offer the member of the public to come in and review those files and make copies on their own time, which doesn't cost the district anything, because if it's, and we've had that before, not in this district, but I've had it in other districts where newspaper reporters want to come in and look at, documents from the creation of the district. And we've said we're not going to, it's too much for us to provide it to you for reasons X, Y, and Z. However, you're more than welcome to come to the district office and review those files and make copies of them or take pictures with your phone on your own time. And so that's kind of the second option for that, to keep the district costs down and for a requester to not have to pay that money. So I know, again, our office has never received a request for anything like that. Most of the requests we've gotten have been for, probably Infomark has probably had some that we've gone through us to Infomark, but they've had to go back and look through a couple years worth of files. But if someone hypothetically were to make a request and say, I want to review all the district records, that the consultants are going to start getting rid of after the record retention policy ends, just as an example, then we would probably offer for that person to come up to the office and review the documents on their own time and take pictures and do what they need to do. I mean, we would still need to go through them briefly just to make sure that there's nothing litigation or anything like that. But for the most part, it would be more cost effective for that person to spend their time and energy and money coming and taking their own pictures and us not scanning everything and sending it in.
Okay, part B to my question. So, as we are well aware, there's this modification, misinformation going around this community, and there are a pack of people together. One reaches the limit, and then that person then sends the person B to go on the hunt, right, on a fishing expedition to get more records and more records. My question to you is there any penalty if the person is found to be doing that intentionally?
I would have to check and see. I don't know. I mean,
you see what I mean, right? Circumventing the law by working with a group of people to gather the record, the desired amount of records. So I'm wondering if you can do some research and maybe speak into this issue maybe next week.
I think the issue would be it would be really difficult to prove that one person was.
That's not hard to prove.
Well, no,
I think we all know that.
No, I mean whether we all quote unquote know it or not, it would still be hard in terms of a court of law to prove it because that's.
Just take a picture right now.
I just want the fact. Would like to hear the fact of the law.
Sure,
right?
I'll take a look.
Just the fact of the law.
Yeah,
Can a person do that or not?
Okay.
Because then it's up to the person to decide whether they want to violate that law or not. You see what I mean? But
I'll
so
look
that we
into
can
it.
let the public know, hey, there's limitations into this rule.
Okay.
14. Do you have anything else?
No, that's it. I'm hoping for next month that we can have a open records request record.
Yeah, it's supposed to be in there.
You'll have it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion.
14.
I'd like to make a motion to extend the meeting another 20 minutes.
Okay.
We were past that
Yes.
time, and I just
Can we make a motion? Are you guys okay with that?
I second it.
moved it, yeah.
20 minutes.
Carol seconded.
All in favor? Sorry, I wasn't watching time. 14. Cool.
Well, just hopping up to the hatch lift station quickly, since you all voted to not move forward with that, Infomark's legal counsel previously had requested a letter just stating for requesting some sort of update from the board. Do you all authorize me to send a letter stating that you all voted tonight to not move forward with that? Because that's what you all discussed earlier. And secondly, just letting you all know, remember, the letters that were sent from the board to Infomark and consequently Infomark to the board, that right now is shielded from attorney-client privilege because it's in anticipation of contemplated litigation. So if you all want to nix this item and say that there's no more litigation being threatened or contemplated by the board, just letting you know that those records and any type of email correspondence between directors or anything like that would become open to public record. I'm not saying there's anything bad about that. I just want to bring it to your attention. You're taking something that was discussed as litigation and you're now not pursuing it. So it would.
I don't have anything, right? I've never written anything.
Question, Cole. Is my understanding correct that perhaps we should have a letter issued to Infomark stating that we are withdrawing or nullifying or whatever the appropriate term is, the letter or whatever that was issued on such and such date?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm asking. The way, and I know you weren't on the board at this time, what happened was the district first sent a letter, Infomark responded, the district sent a second letter, Infomark responded, and then there hasn't been any response. So Infomark simply requesting a response from the district, whatever the decision it is.
And is this to be signed by you or by the board president? Or?
It doesn't necessarily need to be signed by anyone. It just needs to be, the board just needs to vote on authorizing our office to send a letter stating what the board's intent is behind this, the hatch lift station issue.
Can I get a motion for that? To have, can we do that?
Do you want us
To
to
have,
send a
okay.
letter?
I mean, we did vote on that earlier, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yes, you did.
Okay, so now we're voting on you sending the letter.
Well, you voted
That's to
on,
make it-
you basically voted on dropping the hatch lift station issue.
Okay, okay.
So like that requires no work of mine. Kind of to David's point earlier, if I'm going to bill you all an hour or whatever it takes, 20 minutes to draft a letter to Infomark, I want to have something in the minutes that states the board is authorizing me to do it, so I don't go off and do something and you all say, well, wait, we never authorized you to do that.
Okay, well, I make the motion that we authorize Cole to formulate this formal letter notifying in the appropriate language to Infomark that we are withdrawing that all communication connected with that original letter that we sent to Infomark.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay.
Hard no.
Do we want to go into this?
Thank you.
Just that when we're all here.
The last item, I'm sorry, just under attorney's report, since I had to hop back up. We had received a request from, it wasn't really a request, it was some comments from a resident just regarding the motions that were made at the, I guess it was at, I believe, the November board meeting, in which you all kind of set the positions of the board. So, and I went back and I listened to it, and it was a little convoluted. So the vote that you all did was essentially you kind of did one motion for appointing people to each committee, and then you placed people in there, president, vice president, secretary. I don't think no one has any issue with that. At least I'm not saying anyone. I haven't heard of anyone having any issue with that. The request was simply that it was confusing to follow during the meeting, and it would be nice if the board could make just a formal vote saying, ratifying, Beth Jones was nominated as president, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, down the line. And so it's just really a ratification to clear it up.
Right, I had that earlier, and then I don't have that anymore. When you and I talked, you said I didn't need that.
No, this was on this agenda.
So you want me to go get that again and go over all of them?
Not the committees, just the committees are set. That's fine. But because it was committees, and then you all kind of just moved forward with that and said, well, you were nominated as president. It would just be nice to just do a formal board vote of just solidifying your roles. That's all for the sake of the minutes.
As they are written.
Yeah, as they are written.
Okay. I make a motion that we solidify the committee position, board positions
Yes.
as they were presented, as they are written.
Thank you.
As they were written and reflected in which document, the meeting?
It was at the November meeting minutes.
Okay, yes.
So, and just as a reminder, that's Beth as president, Hanoi as vice president treasurer, Chris as secretary, and then David and Carol as assistant secretaries.
Yes, I actually had bought it, and they said I didn't need it. But yes, it's all good. I mean, it's still in there if I need to go get it, but no, I just reviewed it before the meeting.
Wait, what document? What do you mean?
With the audit, billing and invoice, who was on what committee.
No, none of that.
The direction-
This is just the
Yes.
names right here, yeah.
The-
Yeah. So there's no documents were produced
No.
regarding this item.
It's already on the website, it's exactly what was there,
Yeah.
that's what we were just
Make a
doing.
motion.
We're on the same page.
I'm confused.
He just wants us to
Yeah, I
approve
get it.
this.
I just want to make sure, are you talking about the directors or the committee? Because I'm hearing
Directors only.
Directors.
Committees are set, directors only.
Your position as vice president? Her
Yeah.
position as president?
Okay, so
Yeah, that's it.
we're talking about actual officers of the MUD.
Correct,
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
And the confusion around that was?
So if you go back to the vote in the November meeting, the vote to reconstitute the board of directors basically went as, okay, so-and-so is on this committee, so-and-so is on this committee, so-and-so is on this committee. And you went through, the board went through all the committees without actually reconstituting the directors has nothing to do with committees. So we moved forward with that because at the time too, I think Chris nominated Beth to be president, and everything kind of fell into place. It was very convoluted. There was a lot of
To me, it
discussion.
was very clear. I don't know if O'Toole is having issue understanding that, but to me, it was very clear. But anyhow, you submitted the motion, seconded. I'm well aware of
Yeah, I have
our
the
positions as officers.
That's all it is.
Yeah, so, I went back and listened to it, and it said we nominate Beth as board president and committee assign, and she has the authority to do committee assignments, and we never did the officers, but, you know, I believe it was wrong, so thank you, Cole, for bringing this up and ratifying it.
Okay.
And listening to residents, constituents, requests, and thank you, Cole.
So, it's a,
So
so we have a
vote.
motion and a second.
Correct.
Any other
I'm
discussion?
ready. I'm good. Let's
All in
ratify
favor?
Thanks.
I voted first time.
That's all I have.
Okay, 15, I would like to ask that we move this to next meeting as we don't have Chris here.
Okay.
Fine?
So there's-
Yep.
I don't think. it matters.
16, actions related to matters discussed during executive session. We don't have
I
any,
move to
we're not
adjourn this
doing that.
meeting.
And anything else
I
that we
move
need
to
to
adjourn this
discuss?
meeting.
You did not move to adjourn this meeting.
David?
It's the
We
call
need
of
to
the
sit
president
down,
to
we haven't
adjourn.
done that.
Wait a minute.
If he wants to leave, he's walking out early, that's fine.
Well,
Is
that's,
there anything else that you would like to discuss or anything
No,
that needs to be
no.
done? Has everything been signed that needed to be signed?
to my knowledge,
Before we-
everything has been signed tonight, yes.
Okay, there are
Yeah, and that's the
two
problem of what happened, is then people go out in the public and say that we're conducting business right after the meeting is done.
That's
So we would let
same
you
people that asked for all the
call
other
the end of the
people, only
meeting.
a few people.
Let me say this, David has made a motion that we adjourn. I will second that motion and
We're
then
not
I.
ready, we need to make sure that all this stuff is taken care of
Okay,
before we
then I
end this
apologize.
meeting.
Okay, then I will back up then.
That is what I'm trying to get to, is that we make sure
Okay,
that everything
all
is
right.
done before we leave here.
All right.
Is there anything else that needs to be signed?
I don't have anything.
Okay, do you have anything else that needs to be signed with us?
Nope, I'm just reviewing these.
Okay, have you turned in all of your items?
Yes. I
Have you
have-
turned in all of your items?
Yes.
Have you turned in all of your items? And David, you are, now, you're gonna make it really tough to make it through the next meeting. I'm gonna ask you to please leave. You can escort him out. He's on the phone, which he's not supposed to be doing during a meeting. So he can be escorted out. He's done for the day. Can we please make a motion to have him leave this meeting? He's on his phone, which we
You
made
make
an
the motion,
agreement.
I'll
Can
second
we make
it.
a motion that David is escorted out, please? I need a second.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. He can't do it. Goodbye. Okay, is there any, everybody's good?
Can everybody just look, there's one check missing, I'm gonna
not
go
gonna
look
Yes.
at
Please,
Yeah,
we'll wait for you. Make sure that's done.
Yeah, we don't adjourn until we cover that. I have so many things here that are necessary. I'm sorry.
It's fine, it's just, no.
Why do you have your phone now?
What? What phone?
We have rejected from the meeting as well.
It is, but it's turned off. It's not even on.
Well, it's out in view.
I don't have it in my hand and it's off the table, which is what you
Can you get her out of
And
the
you know
here?
what? You're done too. Can we please ask for one of our residents to please be,
Yes, be ejected from this meeting.
may I have a second for that?
Second.
All in favor?
Can
Please
you get her
leave.
removed from this meeting, please?
She needs to be removed, please.
Okay, it's the Bay City check.
It's what?
You're not allowed to give him the order and you know it.
She did not give him an order. This was a decision of the
No,
board.
shut up, nobody's talking.
Excuse me?
You heard me.
You're gonna make it really difficult to come back to another meeting. We will have, oh, we need to find out what to do, because we cannot have this kind of attendance.
CTW from this building. That's what she needs
This
to do.
isn't kindergarten, that, you don't tell everyone what to do.
Goodbye.
To be 2087.
Thank you for voting that.
We still have one check missing.
We're waiting for it.
No, it's the base fee check. It's not in there, but it's listed on the report.
The what check?
So can y'all just look in your papers? Maybe?
The what check?
The
The
base
base
fee check?
fee
The
check.
base fee check. No, it was in there. I gave it to you.
I know.
Check and see.
Well,
I'm pretty sure because I reviewed them all.
double check me,
I'm going through everything in my folder,
because I just put them in.
just to be sure it's not in there. It's not in there. If we are still in the meeting.
I don't have
If
it.
we are,
Okay.
Sorry.
if we
No,
are
you're
still
fine.
in the meeting, should,
I'm just making a
So Linda, our meeting is not over yet, and if you're gonna have a conversation, you need to exit the building as well. I've just been asked to do that, so I'm gonna ask for a second. I'm asking her to also be removed, correct? Can I get a second on that?
yes, because.
Thank you, that's not what's supposed to be happening, all in
Because the
favor?
meeting hasn't adjourned yet, so.
Sorry, what did I say?
The meeting has not been adjourned, right? Are we all clear of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the problem is, we've, the last couple of meetings, we had adjourned the meeting, we had signed documents, and then they go out of the community and saying, we're doing business violating the quorum.
Yeah, that's,
And it's really important that we have everything done before we leave, so.
I just, as we are searching for documents, I just want to make a statement. I would like it to go on the record, please. I have made a genuine effort tonight to be congenial and supportive of my fellow board member, David Flores. There have been times when that's been difficult tonight. I'm addressing to the board in general and to our attorney. I would desire that we are able to be people of ethics, that we are people of respect. And there's a hostile tone that comes from there that is very hard for me to deal with. But I am trying my best to develop a working relationship with my fellow board member, David Flores. And I would appreciate that being on the record, please. Thank you very much.
Y'all look in the office, too.
I did, I pulled the envelope. The only other person was Chris that signed checks. I'm not worried about it, I mean, we can, I just need to let them know that there's one missing.
He carried his stuff out with him. I guess would it be too late to send him a text?
All the other checks are there.
After the meeting, I can. Okay. I have to follow my own rule.
So, just so y'all, and I'll text Chris, no worries.
You can
And
text
you are
them.
more than welcome to text her.
And I'm sure he's not in a state where he's driving anywhere. He didn't want to be too far from the house. But, y'all can go ahead and adjourn. I have all the other checks, that's
Can
the
we
only one.
have
unless
your
y'all-
cards, though? I gave my card to him.
Sure. That's what she was asking for, and you asked her to leave. I guess she's doing open records on me saying I'm lying.
I heard you're asking for your
So she can
name
read that.
and your badge number, and I heard all of that.
No problem.
I was-
I'll have to recap what she did.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I appreciate you. No.
Okay.
Did you adjourn the meeting?
Are we-
Call the adjourn.
Yes, I call that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, second?
All in favor?
No, we have a second, yeah?
I second or I don't know.
All in favor? Thank
Okay,
you.
meeting adjourned.
Thank you, guys.
And we will exit the building.
Kimberly works well, right?
Now, he's not allowed to come back
She's
in.
the bookkeeper in,
Private company.
no, she's not over there.
Okay.
She's with a different,
Okay.
yeah,
Again, you're right.
yeah.